Hello, everyone. It's an intimate group today. I was asking Kevin, was it Easter last weekend? But it was 2 weekends ago, so it doesn't explain the fall off. I don't know about in your churches growing up. My church growing up, there was Easter, good luck finding a seat, and the week after, anywhere you want. Y'all get your church in on Easter. My name's Nate Hitchcock. I'll be your host today. Yeah? Unity Airlines Flight 416 to Oneness and Inner Peace. Some people said they like the airline thing, so I'm going to go with it. Not to be confused with Flight 415 tomorrow to Washington, D.C., in the IRS offices. If you haven't dealt with that yet, which I was feverishly working on yesterday, and again today. All right.
Oh, I get it,
April 15th, we get it? Dave's more concerned about Flight 420 later this week. If you don't know who that is, ask a guy in the room with long hair. He'll be able to tell you. All right. We are a wild soul sanctuary. What do we do at a wild soul sanctuary? We ask really deep questions like, what happens to us after when we die? What is this light inside of me? What is this soul thing? And really deep questions like, why do I do a pee-pee dance when I really got to go? Things like that, which is what I was asking myself this morning as I'm brushing my teeth, going, oh man, I got to pee all of a sudden. It's an old age thing if you're young and you haven't had that issue yet. All right. TMI. All right, let's read our mission statement. We stand together to create a global ecosystem of unity, deep wisdom, and loving kindness. All right, this is the introvert's least favorite time of the day. I remember growing up, I hated this part of church, but we're going to, hopefully in our seats, but we got hardly anybody here today, so we can definitely maybe get up and walk around a little bit. Let's introduce yourself to your neighbor and say hello, get a hug, get some love, share some love. All right, come on back. I know how it is in this. It's a good place to come get a hug, that's for sure. That's for sure. Let's see who our team is today. All right, as I mentioned, my name is Nate Hitchcock. I'm your host today. We have the lovely Reverend Tamera Schmidt, who is going to be speaking with us today about Passover. And Dave was sharing some trauma around that particular subject matter. If you're in the Christian faith, that's a bit of an interesting holiday. All this strange food that you go and have, and blood on doors and things like that. But Rev Tam's going to share with us some of her insights around that subject. We have Soulshine, of course, as always. And our AV team in the back, Nico, my lovely wife, Erin, and Chris. You may not recognize him because he got a haircut. He's looking good. And big thanks to all of our other volunteers, which unfortunately we do not have time to share at these services. But this place does not happen without the volunteers doing what they do. All right, we have our chair that has become a couch, that has evolved into a couch on stage. And this week we've lost a very important member of our family, Mama Kubota, Judy Kubota, Kevin's mom, passed away this week. And I don't even know what to say, to be honest with you. But Kevin, we love you. Claire, we love you. Nico, we love you. And you're in our hearts. And Judy, we love you, and you will be missed. And no doubt she's here with us today. All right. And we have our land acknowledgement. We want to acknowledge the Native American tribes who were here before us on this land, the Wasco, Warm Springs, Klamath, and Paiute tribes in this beautiful land. All right. celebration time. Kevin, I think, is our honorary Ute today. He's going to be running around with a mic.
I just want to share that Donna and I went last night to Sisters to something called Sing Your Heart Out, which a band came in from Portland and played a bunch of familiar songs, at least for me. They were all in the 70s. And we got to sing along for like the whole night. It was super fun. And it dawned on me that it was also the 2-year anniversary of my partner's death, so it was kind of a good way to just celebrate and move forward.
All right.
Hi, I'm Randy. I've been gone a little bit. I was in Peru for 3 weeks, did a healing journey there, ayahuasca and some other psychedelics, and brought some wonderful things back with me, but more importantly, I left some things there that were not serving me. And I'm so happy for that journey and so happy for this place, which actually brought me in a roundabout way to Peru and psychedelics and the healing that's brought into my life. So I'm so thankful for that.
All right.
After a year and a half of delays and craziness, my project is finally complete at home, and my little rental is available in case anybody wants it. Anyway, but I'm just really grateful for this community, which has been so supportive and such a big part of my life. I'm just so happy to be here. Yay.
Well, this will make most people happy. Unfortunately, my roommate arrived safe and sound last night, so he is back. No, I'm just joking. But so he will be back next Sunday, hopefully.
Menissa's trying out a new seat in the house tonight.
Any more?
Did I see something in the back? In the booth?
I'll celebrate my mom. I'm celebrating her life, and I'm celebrating all of you that reached out to support us. She used to sit right here with my sister, and she loved the music. So appreciations to Soulshine, because you brought a lot of joy to her, and this was one of the things she looked forward to very much, was coming here and singing and hanging out. And she had a beautiful passing with all of us around her on Tuesday, holding her hand and walking her through to the other side. So we're super grateful to all of you for your support. Thank you.
Yeah. To tag on to that, it's a blessing to sing every week, but it was a double, triple $1,000,000 blessing to see Judy not only smiling, but singing the words. And as a performer and singer, I love what I do, but when that happens, I know I'm on the right path. So blessings. Love you.
All right, let's see what the earth has to celebrate today. Oregon lawmakers, and this one speaks to me as a professional repairer of things. Oregon lawmakers passed the nation's first right to repair law that bans parts pairing. Now, this is an interesting one. The law will require manufacturers to provide the same parts, tools, and documentation to individuals and repair shops that they provide to their own repair teams. In other words, meaning your average do-it-yourself or your average repair guy with his own little outfit can go out there and actually repair these things as opposed to taking them to the landfill. If you've ever spent any time at the appliance section at the landfill, you will see an amazingly large quantity of perfectly good appliances going to the dump because we can't repair them because it's just too complicated and they don't let it out. So, Oregon's bill goes as far as preventing companies from implementing schemes that require parts to be verified through encrypted software checks. So in other words, third-party parts can also be used in these things. So here to Oregon and keeping the landfills less empty. We'd normally do blessing of the kids right now, but we're skipping that because Claire's going to come up and do announcements. But I don't see any kids in the house tonight. So are they already out there? They're already out there partying on their own. All right, so Claire's going to come up here and do announcements, and then we're going to bless them through the walls.
I'm going to do announcements real quick. What do we have going on? And we have a lot of announcements. We have some really cool classes coming up that are not able to be in announcements quite yet, so be sure you grab a calendar and check out our website. So just this week, these are regular things that happen. Tonight, sound bath every Sunday night, 6:30. Men's group is meeting tomorrow night at 6. They meet the first and third Monday nights. A Course in Miracles is meeting this week. They meet once a month on the third or second, one Thursday of the month. So they're here Thursday at 6:30. And then the Divine Healers, who come and they set up in here and offer their services on a donation base. So any of you are needing or wanting to experience or learn more about holistic healing, we have an amazing group of people who offer that. So that's on Saturday. All right. And then we announced this for the past couple weeks, but Voice is Rising. This is the second week that it's happening, but you can still come and try it for free. It's still open, so if you want to come and check it out and do more singing, like Julie, I know when you shared that, I know how much singing means to you, and I just always picture you running around your house singing. And when, talking about Judy, we were all singing Sound of Music. We made Grandma's playlist, and we're just playing music for her. And the little last glimpses we had were of her moving her foot or trying to sing. And so it was really beautiful. So come and sing. Okay. Indigenous wisdom sharing. Smokey, are you part of this one or this one coming up this week?
No, earlier that day we're going down to Crater Lake
and doing a ceremony there?
and then they'll be back for that.
Okay. So we have some amazing speakers who are coming. I came to the one this week on Thursday evening, and we had someone from Paraguay. Smokey was there from the Klamath tribe, and then another gentleman from the Amazon sharing about their wisdom and how we need to move forward on this earth in a more positive, beautiful way. And so the topic this week is how a healthy ecology activates physical healing. So if any of you are interested in that, it's $20, but it's a sliding scale, but all of that money goes strictly to support the nonprofits that these people are joining us here from. Okay. And then also earlier on Tuesday, we are having the hosting here. It's an all-day program, but I'm sure if you just came for a part of it, starting at 9 a.m. to 2:30, National Faith and Climate Forum. Again, this is how can spiritual organizations help support and be more proactive in creating a healthy consciousness for the earth. Do you have something you want to share, Donna? Here. Yeah, several other spiritual communities from around the Central Oregon are going to be joining us. But yeah, if we have members join us, so if you're available, please come. It's a free event. Lunch will be catered, and so we encourage you to come and join us. And Open Hub singing, more singing. There's so much singing. Obviously, something's in the water. There's a lot of good singing. But Ian Carrick is hosting. He does once a month Open Hub singing, and he's been doing it here. Again, it's donation-based, and we create a big circle, and Kevin and I joined him last time, and it was so fun. So get your singing voice on, another cool experience. What else we got? And then Unity, we will have a booth. All right, Earth Care is next Saturday. Earth Day, yeah. And so on Saturday, they're having the Earth Day Fair downtown. We will have a booth there, and also we will have a booth sharing with people because a lot of people still don't know that we even exist. So it's mainly about reaching out to people and saying, here's what our community is. We believe strongly in caring for the planet and supporting people on their individual spiritual journeys. So come and visit, come say hi. Kalinda, who's doing her energy back there holding a space during service, but she is leading it up. So she is really looking for volunteers to help in the booth, just to help with setup or pickup, or if you feel like, you know what, I want to share what Unity has meant to me and talk to people who come to the booth, or we need face painters. We're doing kids face painting, and last year at the booth we had a huge line. So if any of you want to learn how to do kids face painting, it's super fun because they are so excited when you show them what they I have a butterfly, like they are just beside themselves. So really rewarding. So talk to Kalinda after service. Okay, and if you want to learn more about what else we have going on, we've got calendars printed out there, and always check out our website. Okay. And now I'm going to go with the kiddos. Are you going to get, hi, Emmy, how are you? Do you want to come up and get blessed? Because I'm doing kiddos today. So Lexi and Lily say, do I have to go up to the front? They're super embarrassed to have to come up to the front and do the bless. I said, you can bless them, stay wherever you want to get blessed. But you come up here with me, yay. You're looking so cute today. Yeah. All right. Let's bless these kiddos. We appreciate the holy gift you are. We see the Christ light shining as you. May you always know what a treasure you are. May you always bring your gifts freely and fully to the world. Namaste. All right, I get to go play now.
Blessing the children also applies to us. We all have children inside of us who need that blessing. We didn't get it when we were growing up enough, because you can never get it enough. So when you're saying that, keep in mind there's someone in here who needs that too. So let it in. All right. So Dave's going to come up here and play some beautiful piano while we talk about, while we handle these prayer forms. The prayer forms, seat backs in front of you. The green form, you can go ahead and fill those out while Dave's playing this beautiful piano. Oh, we're going to get Soulshine singing too. Yeah? All right. Fill those out. When the collection baskets come around later in the service, you can go ahead and put those in there. The prayer team here will pray on those for a week, and then they go on to Silent Unity, where they're prayed on for another 30 days. So go ahead and make those claims. If you're online, you can also do it there.
Let's sing our prayer song. Sing with us.
Breathe in and know I am. Be still and know I am. Let's go and know I am.
I am. That's another one of those things, that a deep question that we explore here in this Wild Soul Sanctuary. Something to meditate on and look deep inside about. Who is this I am? We can go real deep there. So we're not doing Rev Tam now. We're doing song? All right. Well, I shouldn't be up here right now. So, Victor, I'm going to let you take over. Your flight attendant is off the reservation.
I want to say to my sisters and my brothers, keep the faith, When the storm flies and the wind blows, go on at a steady pace. When the battle is fought and the victory's won, we can all shout together, we have overcome. We'll talk to the Father and the Son when we make it to the promised land. If we walk together, little children, we won't ever have to worry. Through this world of trouble, we've got to love one another. Let us take our fellow man by the hand, try to help him to understand. We can all be together forever and ever when we make it to the promised land. Our Bible reads, thou shalt not be afraid of the terror by night, or the arrow that flies by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in the dark, nor for the destruction that waiteth in the noonday hour. If we walk together, little children, we won't ever have to worry. Through this world of trouble, we've got to love one another. Let us take a fellow man by the hand, try to help him to understand. We can all be together forever and ever when we make it to the promised land. This world is not our home, we are only passing through. Our trail is all made up, way beyond the blue. Let us do the very best that we can while we're traveling through this land. We can all be together, shaking a hand when we make it to the promised land. When we make it to the promised land. 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 Will we make it to the promised land? Make it to the promised land. We can all be together forever and ever when we make it to the promised land. We can all be together forever and ever when we make it to the promised land.
Okay, now I'm up here. I'm just going to keep it short and sweet because I've already exhausted my time. Our very own Reverend Tamera Schmidt is going to come up here and talk to us about Passover. Let's give her a big unity welcome.
All right, to begin, I want everybody to turn back to the cameras and wave to everyone that's online. Thank you for being here today. Let's go with that. All right, so when Jane knew she was going out on sabbatical, she reached out to a bunch of us and said, can we get the plan all put together of who's going to talk when and what the topic is? And you may not know, we have a theme. And then I got the assignment, Tam, can I encourage you, or since we're talking about Passover, nudge you to do the Passover element of my sabbatical time. Now, I get it. I'm an ordained world religions minister from, as you know, having heard me speak before, 9 million years ago. And I am also the daughter of a survivor of Nazi Germany. In fact, my dad and his brother and my Oma would go to the Philippines and be part of the 1,500 Jews trapped in the Philippines. And there's documentaries on this and everything else, but it's a part of German Jewish history that many people don't know anything about. I wasn't raised Jewish. My dad basically chose not to celebrate his faith after all the trauma he had been through. And in fact, married a fabulous Gentile, my mom. And anything I learned about Judaism was from friends and family. Didn't go to synagogue, didn't know a rabbi. You mentioned singing. If you haven't been to a synagogue, when there is singing from a cantor, you have arrived in the most joyous place there possibly could be. So I got to thinking, how am I going to give us a story about Passover as a world-ordained minister? Let's start with the fact that everything we ever hear that is celebrated in a spiritual ritual has an origin and is packaged in myth. So let's have a moment and talk about the scriptures strongly indicate that the Israelites never had any intention of leaving their beloved Egypt. Therefore, to view Pesach, which is the Hebrew word for Passover, you might realize the celebration of a time in which the Israelites joyfully left bondage and became free is kind of a distortion of the truth, which we know is true in all of spiritual practices. The fact is that we know the Israelites were absolutely booted from Egypt by the Pharaoh after he witnessed the firstborn children dying before his eyes. And yet, the beauty of Pesach remains. So let's talk about reframing that. Michael Kagan's holistic, okay, I'm going to butcher it, Donna. I say Haggadah, but it is incorrect. And this book seeks to incorporate a holistic approach to Judaism. Doesn't that rock? Which activates the four worlds of an individual: the world of action, the world of emotion, the world of intellect, and the world of spirit. Think about that. Sounds like something we do all the time in the Wild Soul Sanctuary. Passover and the yearly festival cycle that we witness demonstrates the way in which we can contribute to profound internal reflection and lasting personal change, which I think is what we're all seeking no matter what we're talking about, what we're celebrating. So let's take a moment and go into prayer and start looking at those four questions. If you'll close your eyes and follow my voice, I want you to breathe in the beauty of spring and change of season and the ritual as we walk the earth, as bulbs are blooming, your grass gets green, you're coming off of a spring break of some kind. And I want you to go deeply inside and look at this world from a place of action, from a place of emotion, from a place of intellect, and bringing in whatever spiritual entity moves you so deeply that you know you are connected to something so much greater than we can ever imagine. In this moment, I ask you to look inside and identify something that has enslaved you? Is it your telephone? Is it a story that you continually tell yourself and think it's true? Is it something from your spiritual past that you were told to be truth? And as you grow and learn and examine this world, you find out it is not. In this moment, I ask you to release all things that no longer serve you. Take a big breath out and just say, let go. One more. Breathe in and breathe out hard. Just let go. And then feel the energy of the earth blooming in all sorts of ways, coming up through your feet, through your legs, through your torso, up through your heart, throat, all the way through your seventh chakra, and see it shoot as a rainbow out of your head, encompassing you with the divine light of love and energy and being. And so it is. So knowing that this is all a myth, and I had collected for quite some time what Seder and Pesach was supposed to mean, join me 15, 16 years ago. Nico, you can change the slide. In Israel. So let's go ahead and get a definition of what Passover is. It's a Jewish feast, but it's also a mental attitude that we can use to move forward. When I was doing research to reframe the stories that I had been told, I got to talk to Donna a lot. In fact, thank you, Donna, for picking all the songs today and organizing us accordingly. And what I quickly realized, it's a holy day. We talk about holy all the time. It's a holy day. It's a holy energy. And what is that really? We're talking about spring and how the energy of the earth is blooming and evolving and expanding. Next slide. How many of you heard the title and went, what the hell is she gonna do? Right? So, I told you, some 15 years ago, I was working for an Israeli-owned company. And that meant I was there almost every month. I mean, like, I was there so often, one of my friends assumed I was going to be there for her 50th birthday because they saw me every single solitary month. Little shocked when I said, no, actually, I'm not going to be there this time. Wait, what? It's a 17-hour flight in coach. Those are some long darn weeks, all right? And my job was to bring the revenue-generating team members from all over the world together to Israel and give them the skills that they needed in order to be successful driving our business. Think about it. We're talking Europe, Asia, US, emerging countries, which is what we call them, but Latin America is not an emerging, but people from all over the world. And every single time, the people that joined me there came with their personal beliefs. Of course they did. Wherever they were raised, whether you were Christian, Buddhist, Zen, they all had their stories that they joined me there. Now, what you may not know, I sure didn't, is that there are event crews that will work with you when you're there. So I'm going to take them on adventures during the day, during the night, in the afternoon, all around the training, to Haifa, to the Dead Sea, to Jerusalem, to Golan Heights, you name it. And you get a crew of people that plan these events. Now, one of the things we always did was kind of a scavenger hunt. And you would be on jeeps that were driven by this event crew that were helping me plan and deliver everything. If you weren't spiritual before you got there, the way they drove while you were trying to compete with other teams, you were praying to whatever deity you truly believed in. I mean, and the roads get smaller, and you're hanging out the side, and you're thinking, oh, Mother of God, what prayer can I come up with? Okay? What people also don't know is these individuals are usually a couple years out of serving in the Israeli army, and they all have backpacks. Now, the first time I hung out with all of them, I thought, wow, how cool, they're carrying water for all of us. Yeah, no. Those backpacks are filled with zip ties, guns, tasers, everything they need to keep you safe during these adventures traveling all over Israel. In fact, many of the time, they have submachine guns. Now, while I heard some groans, and I get that, I want to tell you this is simply a way of life. In fact, it is such a normal thing. You guys have figured out by now I do a lot of public speaking. And so I would be speaking at a big customer event, and we needed people to register, and they would go ahead and put a picture up that would rotate when, to encourage you to sign up. It is such a normal thing to have submachine guns all around you that the picture they chose of me, instead of asking for a headshot, was me in the middle of Israel with 2 submachine guns right there in front of me, just crossed across in there. And I did call corporate and say, maybe we want, when we're inviting customers, not to put that picture out there. They went, oh my gosh, yes. So during my time there, I probably trained 4,000 to 5,000 people. So I was there a lot, lots of people. And there was one team that decided I was pretty cool. I love when somebody gets that. And they insisted to always do the events with me. It also meant I could never, ever, ever go on one of those cars driving on a scavenger hunt again. And I could pray back in the corner that everybody came back alive. So this team was kind of uncomfortable with the fact that the Americans and the Europeans and all were laughing at them walking around supporting our events, but also the submachine guns and everything else. In fact, there was buses a lot of the time, and I would sit in the front, kind of being the Vanna White to the program. And you would see people that had had an aha about a conflict in their spirituality walking towards me, eyes spinning. Well, there was one gentleman that always headed those teams named Michael. In Hebrew, you would pronounce his name as Mikal. And he would genuinely try to survive the request for photos and all the laughing at him and everything else. But I assure you, he was hiding behind me, near me, with me, anytime, any place that we went, because this was simply his life. This wasn't something to laugh about, and he was uncomfortable. We got to be really, really, really good friends, and I would learn his story. He was a single father of, I think at that point, a 3-year-old named Ezra. And he had lost his wife when they had both served, and she had lost her life in a conflict. And so imagine these great adventures and getting over feeling ashamed of carrying around his submachine gun. His backpack is full. Nico, next slide. And here's what we're doing. We're traveling all over the country with these people. And, you know, it was so much fun, and it was so great. And 4,000 people he helped me and his team put through this amazing, magical event all over Israel. And each day when we would have a meal, he'd be right by my side, and I got to know him better and better and better. And because all my friends there thought I was there every month, one day he said, "Hey, will you be back for Passover?" I, also on message, I'm a corporate person and we have to plan for everybody and nobody's going to be traveling during Passover because I must honor my colleagues. I'm not even expecting a conversation. I'm already in my brain refusing to have the conversation. And he said to me, "I talk about you all the time. And I'm wondering if you could find a way to be here for Passover, because my family would like to meet you." So I called my hubby and said, "I've found a way to get him to pay my airfare. I found people who will let me sleep on their couch." This was a really frugal company. They were never going to do anything extra. "And you're in charge of the kids. I'm out." And I flew back to Israel for probably 15 days. Now, what do you think my brain's saying? What should I wear? What should I do? Who should I know? You know, that's the kind of conversation we all have, especially when we're invited to something that we think is probably pretty cool. Here's his response. "Wear comfortable clothes. The weather will change. I will tell you more when you get here." Okay? So I find out that I will be joining his family for Passover at the Wailing Wall in Jerusalem. Okay? Take that in. I get goosebumps just saying it. And sitting there, notice the dress comfortable, weather will change, And I need to tell you that there are tens of thousands of people that make more or less a pilgrimage to celebrate Seder at the Wailing Wall there in Jerusalem. Cantors and rabbis are walking around the outside with the traditional prayers and moments and stories. And you're sitting with groups that have brought in all the elements of a Seder. But I want you to imagine the coolest picnic in your life on steroids. Okay? It is incredible. So, in preparing for this, because I remember as Grandma led the Seder sitting there, I came to the realization I had come home. I had taken every bit of my lifetime, and she had, through the course of our day together, demanded of me to be fully present and to release any dogma from religion and celebrate the spirit from within. Grandma has died, but Mikal has sent me her exact words from the Seder that day. I'm going to read it exactly as she said it, because I will never get it right. The Passover Seder was formalized during centuries of exile. However, now it is easy to connect to nature in the land of Israel The laws of Passover are based upon nature. The ripening of barley and wheat, the trees blossoming, and the plants blooming. The Talmud states that when Rabbi Judah saw trees blossoming during the month of Nisan in springtime, he would recite the following blessing. Blessed be he who hath not left his world lacking in anything, and has created in it goodly creatures and goodly trees for the enjoyment of mankind. She went on to say, therefore, a personal story can be shared using to connect one another in a spiritual manner rather than worrying about all the history and what somebody told you was true. She would then go on to ask some questions. Can you imagine hearing most of the answers in Hebrew? Lots of people whispering in my ear translations. Here are the questions. How should I be freed? Who is the internal Moses that can liberate me? What are the internal voices that enslave me like Pharaoh? I'm going to repeat the questions. How should I be freed? Who is the internal Moses who can liberate me? And I'm going to stop there and tell you, we all have stories about stuff. Did I do that? Everyone sitting with me at this beautiful Seder understood the conversation was about yourself, to go back inside, to identify what you might be doing that is enslaving your heart and your soul. And there, in the old town of Jerusalem, with tens of thousands all around me, Michel's grandmother brought together every single element of my studies in world religion. Would you like to see a picture of the experience? There I am. Isn't that amazing? Now, I could have put an arrow. I have no idea where I was. But the thing is that I don't have a picture of that day, because one of the things that I do is I carry my damn phone around everywhere, and I record pictures and voices and videos. And when Michael came and got me at the hotel, he gently leaned over, kissed me on the forehead. I thought, oh, this is going so well. I love this. And reached for my phone and took it away. Because it was about being fully present in that moment. And that may be something that's enslaving you. All right. Last slide, Nico. Oh, there. So, one of the things that enslaves me all the time is the 16 and 17-year-old who are Israeli scouts, and in fact, Talia, the one in the pink hat, was here in our sanctuary this summer when my daughter Kat gave her talk. The Israeli Scouts is a program that starts when they're 12 and they graduate at high school level at 18 or thereabouts. And they are doing survival skills. They are doing spiritual activities. They are military training throughout this entire time. And they reach rank as they get older and older. So Yali, the gentleman in that picture who turned 17 when he was hanging with us this summer, is the oldest 17-year-old you will ever meet. The greatest amount of wisdom, the most exquisite human being ever. And he is the highest level of the Israeli Scouts. So imagine being 16, turning 17, and being in charge of all the volunteer Israeli Scouts at every Jewish camp in the country. That was his role. Now, You might have noticed by now, I'm head over heels in love with these kids. They are an extension of my life, my story, my family. Those of you that know that trying to call overseas is a pain in the tuchus, WhatsApp is a great app that you can globally communicate with anybody. And so I talk to these kids all the time. And when the conflict occurred, I darn near lost my mind. Because I and their parents, given how well trained they are an absolute candidate to leave their high school experience and enter the Israeli army during this time. I went ahead and started running all my scenarios and all my stories and how horrible this would be and how terrible it would be to have their young lives altered at such an early stage. Guess what? Those are all my thoughts. This picture on the right is from the WhatsApp, the pink hat one. How's that for easier? Because I think your right and left are reversed from mine. Is the kids on WhatsApp sending me videos. Talia's about to blow me a kiss and trying not to cry because that's how Talia and I communicate. And they have just completed running an event for Purim, so that's why they're dressed this way and everything else. Now, here's my reality. The picture of where they did it that looks so barren and stark and blockades and everything else, that isn't my Israel from memory. That isn't the place that I think of the most beautiful country I have ever been experiencing, but it's their reality. And I don't get to put my story onto them. When they sent these pictures, they were running Purim right there, and they had over 200 people in celebration in great joy, great laughter. So the only one that was enslaved on those thoughts was me. And I had to let it go. Because they are living their best senior year life you would ever want there in Israel. They are the highest trained youth in the country. There may be a time that they have to do something that I would be afraid to see them do. But if you were to talk to my wise 90-year-old, 17-year-old, Yali, he says, U.S. Mama, in Hebrew, this is just our lives, and our job right now is to have joy, to celebrate all that is, and to make a difference every single day. How many of us are missing that our youth are so much wiser than we are? So, last slide. This Passover, I invite you to join me in discovering what it is that enslaves you. Whether it's your iPhone, endless hours at the office, negative self-talk, Bridgerton, or Netflix, or something else. I suggest taking this time, this spring, this season of Pesach, to consider how you can set yourself free in order to live a more fulfilling and meaningful life. After all, Passover is not just about our ancestors' experience, but our own personal exodus moving to the light of the divine. Thank you.
Certainly gives me much to consider, and that voice, and anybody can relate to the
can place your feet firmly on the ground. Take some deep breaths. Feel connected and free. Thank you.
Okay. I'm a little verklempt from your talk. Partly because those places that you mentioned, I've been to, so many of them, and they are such sacred places that just bring beauty. Okay, so the first thing I want to say is I'm dedicating this to my Uncle Irving, who would start the Seder. And the Seder is basically a story about the Jews' exodus from Egypt. But he would say, whoever is oppressed. And to me, growing up with other Seders that we didn't talk about other people, that meant so much. He's resting in peace for quite a while now. The thing I'm going to start with is a chant. And the reason I'm starting with this chant, because the words mean, behold how good and pleasing for people to sit together in unity. If I can make it through this, I will sing it. Then we're going to move into a rousing version of the Dayenu. When people get together for a Seder, when you hear music, the tables lift, the roof lifts. It's just a joyous, amazing experience. And my Uncle Joe was very religious, so we'd be there till 1 o'clock in the morning, singing and banging on the tables. So you can ask me more about my experiences growing up with that around me. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Ilu hotzianu mi Mitzrayim, hotzianu mi Mitzrayim, daenu, 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 daenu. Ilu natan lanu et hashabat, natan lanu et hashabat, daenu. Everybody, daenu, 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 daenu. Ilu natan lanu et haTorah, natan lanu et haTorah, daenu. Everybody, daenu, 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 daenu. Let me hear you. Daenu, 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 And there was wine involved too.
Lots of wine, lots of wine. One of the things I love about this place is the exploration of world religions and different places. I come from Seder from a very Christian background, growing up in a Lutheran household, and it's so awesome. My fellow Lutheran at the piano. It's so awesome to sort of get a different perspective on Passover and Seder. You know, now we have a deeply a Jewish perspective on it. I just love this place. So thank you, everyone, for that. Thank you, Rev Tam, for the beautiful talk. Thank you, Nico, for that wonderful meditation. If you guys are wondering that inner voice that I was talking about that enslaves you, if you're not familiar with it, that's the one that was going wow, 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 wow while Nico was playing the piano, talking at you. Again, am I the only one? Okay, you get it. You get it. Meditation is a very interesting thing. It's because I went at it when I was younger, a whopping 10 years ago perhaps, when I introduced the meditation, trying to shut that voice up. Like, stop it. It's this quiet time. But I've since learned that it's an opportunity to listen to that voice, to see it, and become the witness of that voice. So keep that in mind next time you're in meditation and you're wishing that voice would go away. Perhaps say hello, thank you. But maybe we don't need you right now. We're going to be quiet. And, embrace it and love it. Anyhow, okay. We're going to be doing the offering now. Going to have our greeters come on up. This is a great time to practice your giving. I was listening to some wonderful stuff from the infamous Zig Ziglar. If you're not familiar with him, I highly recommend checking him out. The whole concept of give and you shall receive. You can have anything in life you want if you just help enough others get what they want first. This is a great opportunity to give and then receive. Many ways to give to this community, including these little baskets, good old-fashioned check and cash. If you're of that generation, if you're of the younger generation, perhaps you can give online. Texting is a wonderful way. It's my personal preference, despite not necessarily being of that generation. It makes it really easy for me. But we're going to go ahead and send these greeters around, and let's fill these baskets up. Don't forget to put your prayer claim forms in there so we can help you manifest what it is you wish to see in your life. All right, take it away, Soulshine.
Gratitude in my heart, I got gratitude in my soul. I just want to say thank you.
Thank you.
I just want to say thank you, Toda Rabah. I just want to say thank you for it all. Thank you for it all. I got gratitude in my heart, gratitude in my soul. I just want to say thank you. I just want to say thank you.
Mahalo.
I just want to say thank you for it all. Thank you for it all.
Okay, let's go ahead and bless this offering. The words are going to be on the screen there for you. From the love of pure spirit within us, we bless these gifts. We send them forth to heal, bless, and prosper. They are evidence of our faith and belief. They do good work in the world and return to us multiplied abundantly, and so it is. All right. Thank you, greeters, and thank you all for your contributions to this beautiful community. It does not exist without you and your contributions. Do we have any visitors today here for the first, second, third time-ish, something like that? Oh, we got one. He's got a beautiful purple shirt on today. Can we perhaps twist your arm into introducing yourself? I can get Kevin over there with a mic. Who wants to say? Yeah? In the back, Kevin, right there. Hey, he can do it. You're going to wish you did at the end of the day.
Hey, I'm Steve. It's my first time at a Sunday, but I came to a sound bath a couple weeks ago, so nice to be here.
Welcome, Steve. We're happy to have you here. There he is. He's got the bravery coming over. All right.
I'm Mandy. I've been going to different churches trying to find a home. So.
Well, we're happy to have you here, Manny. Thank you. Anybody else? All right. If you are new here and you want to stay in touch and receive an email once a week telling you what's going on, maybe what the next talk is, there's a little blue card in that seat back in front of you. You can fill that out, hand it to one of us here on stage, or you can get in those baskets, and we'll make sure that gets into the system so you can start hearing from us. That is it. Nobody's coming to your house or anything like that. All right. Prayer chaplains. Over hands. All right. Prayer chaplains are going to be up here at the front later today if you would like a personal prayer to help you manifest what it is you wish to see in your life. All right. Let's go ahead and read our prayer of intentions and head on out into this beautiful world on this beautiful Sunday. Holy light shines within and all around me, a presence of love that is always there. I am that presence. I am a radiant field of love energy. I am holy light. My essence cradles and guides me. I am a gift in this world. I go forth from here in joy to bless this world with my loving light. All right. Thank you, everyone. Go bless this world with your loving light. Soulshine, take us away.
gratitude in my soul. I just want to say thank you.
Muchas gracias.
I just want to say thank you.
Have a great week.
I just want to say thank you for it all. Ba-da, ba-ba, ba-da.